Here's the deal. It's a beast mode trying to get down in here or out. It's basically just a slide down. Now, I hadn't gone in here many times in this spot. I've come out quite a bit. And boy, I'll tell you now, like anything, it's easier to get out. In. It's easier to get in here probably from sliding than to get out. That being said, this first part looks fairly easy. This next little half. Now, here is the lowdown. I don't know why I choose to talk about this. I'm going to tell a story today. I always do. But maybe this is going to be a good one. I'll tell you my history with trout fishing and everything. It's quite the situation. I always fish this stretch every year. It's my favorite creek. Has been for years. I'm trying to think, I don't know that it's my favorite stretch, but I will say this. I've come here on opening day before on this stretch. For what it's worth, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes people do those go-to. Uh-oh, I got in a briar bush. I'm a tree hugger right now. Uh-oh, I'm in the briar. Oh, there's a good root to hold on to. You ought to see it. It's like a handlebar. I have to remember that. Just tore my waders up. Look at this thing right here. That thing is sturdy. I always forget stuff. I'm gonna get me some pruners for those things. Looks like I made it. And somebody's skull bandage down there. Now, what I want to get at is this. I fished this stretch twice already this year, but I usually get in way down and fish all the way up through here. Luckily, both times, I was able to get my 7 and I didn't have to come up here. But first time, so there's a huge tree that fell down over the winter. I mean huge. It's been there for, the tree's been on land ever since I've been fishing this. And it's weird, for it to be down. And it's a good hole. That tree was kind of the hole. I mean, to tell you the truth, the tree was kind of, I feel like the tree kind of made the hole what it was. In a way, anyway. This is fishy looking right here, man. Fishy looking. I've done it here before. But the thing is, okay, so the tree was hard to cross, and if you might have seen this on the video already. The tree was hard to cross the first day. I didn't have to cross it. So I could tell it was going to be a bear getting around it. Usually you might be able to just step over a tree. This tree was too big, I had to go under it. But even that is just, the way it's in there, it's just not easy. And I got out on the other side of the tree, on the downside side of the tree. Got out the first day, no problem. And when I hit there's a just like the way this where I got in here just now. You saw it was gotta be 15-foot drop. I just now look back over there. It's got to be at least 15 feet down. And I don't know if it's quite that high on the other side. It seems like it's maybe 10 over there, okay? Yeah. But when my feet hit the ground on that other side, that first day, I start walking downstream to get back to my vehicle. Had to go downstream, cross the bridge, get back on this side of the creek. I parked on this side, right? Okay. As soon as my feet hit the ground up there on the other side, I started, whoa, 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 whoa. Dog. I didn't look back. I just, hoped that he wasn't gonna get me. And he just barked that one time, and I never looked back, never saw him, never, I started saying never thought anymore about it. I thought about it, but he didn't come after me. I didn't look. So, I don't know what it was, all of that. Fast forward about 3 weeks later, I come back in there again. 3 weeks or a month. I was talking about that the other day. Come back to the same hole. I'm almost scared to be talking right now because of that dog. I got to get over my fear though, but this is what I'm getting at. So, fast forward 3 weeks later, a month later, come back in to the same hole, almost the same results. But I didn't get my 7th, so I had to cross the tree. So I crossed the tree, and it was hard to get past that tree. Get past the tree. And I'm over there, I'm about to try to fish up underneath the tree and all of that. And I look up in the distance to where I was headed, which is this direction. And I look in the water and I see this big ass dog, German Shepherd. He looks like he's a straight up police dog, man, no shit. This thing he's grown, you hear me? He looks like he's a good breed, man. Strong breed and all that. He's down in the creek like ain't nothing. Now, granted, if you can see up there, it's very flat water. I don't know if you can, how far you can see up there, but from right here, all the way up to that tree, well, no, not all the way to the tree, but you have it's a good long stretch where this water's flat. And I tell you the truth, I really like fishing in there. I don't always kill them in there, but when I do good in there, it's actually whenever it's rain. If we have a big rain, it's a really good place to fish because those fish will get in there and linger, and you can hit them on the spinner. And usually catch some. But he was just in there. I guess he didn't see me. That was a pretty good distance from. I'm probably from here to there, It's at least a basketball court. And I was on the other side. I can see that tree from here, but I don't know if y'all can, but it's right down there. But they told me, guess I won't be coming up here where I'm at right now. Guess I won't be coming up here today, right? I've never seen a dog get in the water like that before. I mean, I think I maybe have, but I guess it's because very slow moving water right there. There's flat waters. You know, I've always thought like, so this goes back to my story that I'll tell. I'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, I'm not shot. I'm not scared, but I'm not just shivering down here. But I sure wouldn't want to see that dog up here on this right bank. He can see me real easy, and I don't know what I'll do. I'm torn between staying to the other side of the creek and staying on this side because he couldn't see me that good if I stay hug that bank over there unless he gets right by me. But if I go on this side over here, I'm further away from him, and I feel like he wouldn't cross. Tell you something, man. Way he looked in here the other day, I guess I'll tell you the truth, I'm kind of crazy for coming here. I just like fishing this hole so much I decided, man, I ain't letting this dog run me out of this hole. Straight up. That was my mindset. That's why I came here today. You got me. You got to stand up for my spot, I guess, you know what I'm saying? I thought there was going to be a fish there for sure. And I'll tell you something else. I love fishing through this section. Bunch of fishing here every year. Not the type of hole either that I'm gonna just say, I usually don't fish something unless, how can I put this? I'm out to get my limit now. So I don't usually come into something thinking, man, I've done it plenty of times, but I don't usually come into something thinking, man, I could probably get 3 down there. I'm thinking about going in somewhere, fishing the stretch and coming out with 7. There's places on that road right there. I get that right hand easier than he did in that hole the other day. Oh, right here where I'm at right now. Look. Like I said, it's a 10-foot drop. Over there, he can get right on down in there. I think he lives a good ways down, I don't know. I thought that day when he broke that one time, and I didn't hear nothing else, I figured he was chained up. The other day, man, that just threw me back when I seen him in the water like that. He was just chilling too, man. Acting like that was his home. Something's up right there, right there. Dude, that hadn't happened to me a whole bunch of times in my life. I've seen it a couple of times this year. Water seems to go down. Well, I spooked him. He was in there. the camera caught that. Hopefully that dog don't like to explore a long ways away from home. I have got him over there. We go. Seems like the water was up a lot higher. I'll tell you, I'm getting the first instinct from this place that I might make a mistake coming down here. It might not be, like I say, generally I fish downstream, kind of uphill. So it's kind of usually like I probably catch 3 or 4 here, 3 or 4 down in the other, you know. This is like the second half. In fact, this is even past halfway. I can almost see where I would usually get out at right here, and I can't see at all where I started if I turn around and look the other way. I can almost see where I get out at. I think I can see it. There's no way possible to see where I start. I can't even see the bridge down there. And I get in down below the bridge. So I've been here for, when did I start the camera? When I was coming down the hill, that couldn't have taken more than 5 minutes. I've been fishing for 17 because I've just been over filming. And saw one fish. First got in, I thought the water looked pretty decent. Now it's looking a little more on the low side. And you can see the cars in the water. Cars embedded in the lake. I don't want to talk about that. I've been in here when this water's been much higher than this. Because I remember not long ago at all. And it might have been 2 years ago. Come in here. I'm looking for my spot. I don't even see it. Actually, it must be right up there. There's a spot where I usually catch one and I don't even see it. Got me messed up. But yeah, I'm definitely feeling like this is a this quick. I feel like this is a too stretch thing today to try to get my limit. You gotta be confident, man. You know, I thought I was gonna, give it a serious consideration, thinking about it right here, and I'm thinking what I just now said a while ago. Like, I usually catch a couple, I usually catch 3 or 4 in the first half and 3 or 4 in this half, So, this is a 3-fish hole, it's not a limit hole. I just came here because that dog tried to run me off the other day. Or ran me off. He didn't, I don't even think he saw me. Last time. 2 days ago. 3 days ago. Yeah, I've been here at times when you get right here and it's really swift, and you get, I'm worried about falling right here in the middle of this creek right here, right where I'm casting right now. And it didn't appear to pose a threat at all today. I think I got my bait split shit on. I probably need to switch. I probably need to go sit somewhere and switch up. I meant to do it before I left home. Got some more hooks. I need to tie some hooks. That's a heck of a good looking hole right over there now. Again, it's in the middle of the day. It's got to be noon at least. It's got to be 12:30 by now, probably. It's 12:52. One of those is hard to get under that ledge right there right now. Can't get my hand down under there like that. I'm down in this creek right here, man. What happens if that dog comes down here? Me and him. I'm gonna talk about that dog the whole trip. Yeah, I've been in here before, but like I say, this is really swift right here. I think I was kind of thinking that in the back of my mind, like, yeah. Cause like I say, yeah, I've always felt pretty safe against dogs in the creek like this. They ain't coming out here. They come out here in this swift river. And again, for the third time, that water, although that water was slow the other day, where that dog was, I kind of get the feeling like just like him wouldn't phase him and look up above, look up ahead of me. It's nothing. I'll just little stretch like that. That's not good. I'm thinking better of fishing here, man. I'm not getting in there. Did he give me some little line? I've been here too long without a fish. There's something, but it didn't feel like a keeper. So now it's on top of all of that. Just turn this one around. Some weird fishing this year, man. Stuff like this. Keep looking for that dog. Scared to death out here, man. You can smell my fear. So I got a couple of dog stories. I got a few. When I was a kid, I guess I was probably 10. Around that age, they just take me trout fishing. I ain't gonna say where. It's a very common place that everybody knows. I'll be the road. Dogs are loose everywhere. That's a deer, man. That hole right there. That's where I got my bike on. That's weird. The fish would have been sitting right there, honestly. Kind of weird to me. There's a fish over there just now. Yeah, we gotta choose my one out. He's over there. Can't do nothing with him out here today, man. That's not what you say on this year. Can't do nothing with him. And some dogs, they kind of backed me down in the creek anyway when I was little, 10 years old or whatever. So I would go get dropped off somewhere. My dad and his buddies, you know, we split up along the creek. Kind of surprised they let me go by myself, honestly. That's kind of the way we did it. And the dog got after me. Didn't ever bite me or nothing, but I mean, it scared the heck out of me. And and it was the type of thing, like you could tell that in hindsight, it's one of those things where it could tell I was scared. Big time. I might have been crying. I don't think I was crying, but I was scared. I'm not kidding you, man. I was real scared. This guy, he showed me his teeth, all that. I think I did, you know, good kind of what I'm saying is like I had to get back down the creek and the water was so swift there or whatever. Man, me thinking back about this is weird that I was even at that hole in that same hole. This is a side note kind of, but in that same hole, almost exactly, you know, within a rock's throw, I don't know if it's the same year or just right around that same time I fell down in the water. Might have been the same trip. Might have been the same trip. I fell down in the water. It was so swift, man. You know, I'd love to go back there now to that same stretch and see, you know, what I think of it. But the water was high. I mean, you know, it was up to my waist, I think. And that rolling water, you know, it was good trout water. Really good trout water now. It's a really good trout water. I ain't gonna lie about that. They caught some fish in there. I didn't catch that many. But yeah, that dog ran me down in the creek, man. Had me all hemmed up. Here's the spot where I usually catch one. Let's see, can I get one today? I'll finish telling the story real quick and then I'll start this camera over. So, the dog ran me in the creek. Yeah, I just, you know, and then that happened there and I fell down the next week. So it turned me off from trout fishing. That's what happened to me when I was young. It happened to me a couple of places up there within a couple of years of each other when I was around 10 years old. And I didn't really like coming trout fishing because of that. It scared me. And especially when I fell, man. I remember I fell down, no lie. I fell down and I dropped my fly rod. And my thought, I remember as I'm floating downstream, I remember my thought was, oh man, my dad's gonna kill me because I lost my rod. And my dad wouldn't have done nothing. He would have been disappointed. But I went back down in the water on purpose and reaching around because, you know, my rod's like 9 foot long, I'm 5 foot tall, you know, and it's right there floating down with me, and I dropped it while I was floating down. We were both submerged in the water. So I went back down and grabbed the bottom of the, you know, felt around the bottom. It happened real quick. I grabbed it real quick and I got it back and came back. Then I came back up and I, you know, I was able to float down to some slower water and I, you know, got up out of there, got stood up. Alright, so this is the spot where I usually catch. I always think I'm gonna get not hung up like that. That's not what I think. I always think about that hole right there is that I'm gonna get caught up against that metal over there and my line's gonna get cut. sure enough, folks. That dog will be running in this water like I need nothing. Well, he was down there the other day. Praise him right here. Alright, I can't be too far up. Let's give it again, see if I Well, some days it's just not your day, y'all. Break time. Alright, I'm almost back fishing. I found a couple of hooks. I came over here and sat down. Sat back and reflect. I've gotten off to I'm in a bad place right now out here fishing, man. This is probably the worst all year. Worst I've been in all year right now. Just all of a sudden, like, boom. I mean, I came down here confident as I'll get out. Now I'm feeling like, you know, kind of hopeless. Well, what's going to have to change there is, you know, I'm going to have to probably just get out of here and go fish somewhere else. But, I think I'm going to catch a fish before I leave this hole, but I don't think I'm going to get a limit out of here today. And, you know, again, I've told this 3 times now, I don't usually catch a limit in this stretch. I usually catch 3 or 4 fish if I'm lucky. So I was over, and I've caught more than that here before. Don't get me wrong, I think I probably have to come down here and caught a limit. You know, pretty much fishing from where I started at to, you know, up here where I'm going to get out. Anyways, I was talking about a dog story, and I'm going to try to, I want to go ahead and get this out. When I was a kid, about 10 years old, I fell down the creek, plus there was dogs after me in a couple of different holes I got dropped off at. They ran me back down the creek. I think my people had to come and get me, and like, there was one while I wasn't standing by the road, you know, done fishing. They come down and look and see me down there, and they probably saw the dog there, because he was like, had me on standoff. So, and I think that happened in a couple of different holes. And then, I think it might have happened to me a few more times, where not as drastic as that, but where I just saw a dog and I was scared. Oh, I just thought, I have one more story, but actually I got 2. I got 3 stories besides the ones I've already told you about. I'm gonna try to make it quick. Another time, that's when I was 10. So I didn't like trout fishing. I didn't like coming to the mountains and all of that. I moved to the mountains in 2004. And right around that same time, right before, I think it was right before that, about a year before that, I came and my dad had invited me up and all that. I came and I go down to a spot first thing in the morning, and I'm getting my gear out and everything. And before I could get there to the creek, I see these 2 dogs that come after me. I ain't gonna say where it was at. I'm just gonna try to make this quick. I see these 2 dogs, they're just like staring me down. And somehow they kind of got between me and my car, and my truck. And I'm walking down to the waterway. It has rained like buckets the night before. I get down to the creek, and it's just like chocolate milk, just flow, and you know, it's way too high to fish. And I get down there, and I'm like, man, same thing. I'm like, them dogs, they absolutely want me to get in that water, because I almost couldn't get in the water myself. But you get down there, and I'm like, well, I'm just gonna go down here and act like I'm fishing. I pretty much could tell already that the water was too high. Get down there, sure enough, I'm right off the bat, I can tell this, you know, it's unfishable. And it takes a lot for it to be like that for me, because I like fishing when the water's high. Get down there, and I start walking down, and there's a bridge, you know, no ways, not very far down. I go, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna just keep on walking, and them dogs keep following me all the way down the bank in between me and my truck, and I'm like, eventually they'll go away, but they're just barking, raising hell. One of them, was the aggressor, and the other one was kind of just along with his buddy, it more seemed like. Well, I get down to the bridge and they got the riprap rocks, you know, growing, and I'm kind of just like staying right at the edge of the water, just barely in the water. And because like I say, it was really too swift to even be messing with. I get to the bridge and I didn't realize that was the worst thing I could have done. That dog starts getting up on those rocks on that riprap where that bridge is, and now where I was actually taller than him all the way down the bank, now he's up above at my eye level and he's getting aggressive. He's pushing me down in the water. And I mean, I'm just like, I'm shook. And I mean, I feel. So that's my camera cut off. 7% means same thing as 0 nowadays. So on these batteries, so I tell you the truth, that's why I started telling the story, because I could tell that the battery was about dead, and I started to change it out anyway and just go back over there and fish. But I said, let me go ahead and get this out of the way so I can focus on fishing and not be talking about dog stories. So I guess I'm gonna have to do better than I have to ever get this out to you, because I'm not good at piecing videos together. I've had a hurdle there. I can do it. I've done it, and I did it. I think it was it last year? Yeah, I did it last year, big time. But I mean, I say big time. I did it with a couple of videos, but it just my computer isn't a good setup for that. And anyways, yeah, I hadn't done any of it this year because I'm not even using the computer my computer that does it. I need to get a better setup. Anyway, back to my story. I'm just gonna have to piece it together for this to ever get out, you know, and to, you know, for somebody to be able to actually hear my story about this. And what I was saying right when the camera cut off is I feel kind of stupid, you know, telling this story, even because, you know, there comes a point in time when you got to be a man. You can't let a dog, you know, dictate what you're doing. And that's kind of why I came down here today. I'm telling you, I'm shook, man. But so what happened, that dog got eye level with me at that riprap on that bridge, right? And I mean, I'm to the point, like, I wouldn't hesitate. I don't know why I was even hesitating. I should have grabbed some rocks and just busted him, man. And I mean, I hate to say that, but I mean, like, this dog was really, like, he was keeping me from dictating my life, man. I mean, he was in between me and my truck, and he had me in check. And I don't want to hurt the dog, but I mean, at the same time, you know, I shouldn't have even been fishing there, man. I should have been moving on with my life that day. I shouldn't have spent that 30 minutes walking down that bank, or however long it was, that 30 minutes of my life, because somebody left their dog out, you know? So next thing I know, luckily, right then, for me at the time, luckily that dog's, he's in my face, man. I mean, he's down those rocks, and when he saw that he could get eye level with me, that changed. He got even way more aggressive. So but what happened, luckily for me at the time, the owners come out. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning. The owners come out, and they had heard the dogs barking so long, and they finally heard them barking. They finally came out to see what was going on. I guess I never saw them, because, you know, I was down the creek, but they called the dog. I heard them call him, and them dogs went scooting on back home, and they went back in. I guess they just left them out at nighttime, and there was a gate they put them in, you know, fenced in area during the daytime or whatever, but they leave them out at night. And I mean, you know, I guess that's all right. But anyways, that was that. And then another story I got for you, right within a year or so of that, man, it had to be within like the next year. That was like in probably like 03, then 04, I moved here, and me and my dad went fishing one day, this spot. We get out of the car, we're gonna fish together, which, you know, I really don't like doing, but I mean, that day we're like, hey, I mean, I don't even think I had gotten even to the point where I didn't like fishing together. We get out of the car, we park at this spot, we're gonna walk downstream and come back to the car, right? So we get out, we're walking down the road, on the creek side of the road, and there's this house across the street, and me and him just talking, walking this early Sunday morning, and all of a sudden, man, out of the blue, I mean, I didn't even see this dog coming till he was right there. It's a Great Dane. I'm talking about this thing here. His head, when he's standing on 4 feet, his head was above my chest, man, and I'm 6 foot, 6'1". So, yeah, this dog come busting, and he come and leaped, and I mean, he leaped in the air and was like barking at us, and I mean, he timed it just right. Dogs are so smart, man. He timed it just right, and he was in his yard, and I think the people called him, but he stayed in his yard. But he scared me so bad. There was a road in between me and him, but when I saw him running towards us and coming, jumping, and he kind of just landed back, at the very corner of his property line. Stayed on his side of the road. My dad put his head down and just kept on going straight. I turned around and started running back to the car. And I say 10 feet, I was probably 30 feet, I don't know, back towards the car before I turned around and see. And I thought Dad was just coming with me. I just assumed, I remember thinking, I thought he turned around just like I did, because I just assumed that's what he was going to do. But now he's going fishing. So he went fishing. That dog was a good dog. Actually, at the end of the day, he just didn't want us in his yard. Now, I think the owner might have called him back too, but I think we would have stayed there. He's just letting us know, don't come in his yard, which we wasn't planning on doing. Well, anyway, now, a couple of years go by maybe, and I'm living up here, and I'm doing construction work and everything like that, and I go out one day, and I'm getting into fishing and everything like that, and I hadn't seen a dog in a while, I don't think. And this dog, I go walking down to a bridge, there's a house on it. Just like typical, man, there's a house, I got to cross, same deal, I'm on the opposite side of the road from this house. Now this right here, that last one was a paved road, this is a dirt road, and there ain't a lot of traffic on it. The other one is kind of I see why they had trained that dog to stay in that yard. They might have had one of those fences or something, one of those invisible fences, because it's like 55 miles an hour right there. But this right here is a little dirt road. People probably drive 35 at the most on it, and traffic don't come a lot. So this dog right here, and I think it was a bulldog. I'm not even sure, man. It was a low, thick dog, and he was low, and he come to me as same thing. I didn't see him till I'm already got me geared up, and I'm walking towards the bridge to get in, and he comes at me. He's coming straight at me. I'm coming straight towards him. And the next thing I know, my instinct kicked in. This is the opposite of everything I've already told you on these stories right here. My instinct just kicked in, and I was going straight on this side of the road, and when I saw him coming at me, I went straight towards him, diagonally across the road, straight towards his yard. You know what happened? I put my head down like my dad put his head down and just kept on walking straight towards the creek. But he didn't try to get aggressive with the dog, but I put my head down and went straight towards that dog. And I guess I was thinking, if you get on me, I'm gonna beat you with this rod, or whatever the case may be. I don't remember what I was thinking. I don't know what I was thinking. And that being said, this dog right here wasn't. I don't think he was still could be a dog that can scare somebody for sure. But I don't think he was, out of the ones that I've talked about, he's probably that one that got out of with me wasn't really a big dog. He was a medium size, and he was a mud, I think. But this one here, I think he growled at me. He seemed mean, and I could see him scaring somebody off. And at one time in my life, I would have been scared off from him, but he didn't. I went right towards him, and he turned around and went back in his yard, and that was it. They kind of taught me a lesson at the time, but for whatever reason, I went 10, 15 years after that, and I never had another confrontation with a dog that I can remember. Now, I saw some dogs a couple of years ago now in this one spot. They come running by, and they never did approach me. And then I had one come up to me the other day, and he scared me. I was scared. He could probably tell I was scared, but he wasn't a very vicious dog. He was big though, but he was just, he was looking for something to eat. I think he was like hoping that I would feed him something or something. He come kind of sniffing around, and I told him to go on, and he didn't really go, but he was kind of leery of me just as much, as I was of him. This dog here that I'm talking about, that's a whole nother story. I don't know. This dog right here barked at me one time, and then the other day I don't think it saw me. But I need to get back to fishing here. And all right, I've been far too long here talking about dogs and tying hooks and stuff and not fishing. I bet it's been at least 30 minutes since I've been over here at this hole. I was surprised I didn't get a bite there, man. Honestly, I downsized my split shot. My split shot was ruining me. That time it went right through there. That's perfect. All right, I got a good size split shot on there. Now I got the right size of what I need. You can see the way the water's rolling in that hole. Oh man, I put it right on there. Well, tells me there's probably nothing over there today. That's what that tells me, because I casted it right up there just as pretty as you please. Again, I did. So really hard for me to believe. That's just going, man, I caught some pretty ones out of that hole, man. I think the water was up a little higher when I did. I got another hole right. Man, this is really down a little bit than what I'm used to in this hole. And I did manage to get hung up in there. I put it right there that time. Put it right there where. Okay, nothing doing. Now, over here. I might not have caught. I came here and showed it. It ain't over yet. Of course, I came here and showed this dog who's the boss today, but I damn sure didn't catch any fish out of it. And what I meant by that, don't get it twisted. I didn't mean that it ain't over about catching any fish. I meant it ain't over about me showing the dog what's up. Hung up as ever. I don't think anybody will ever wonder. I like the fishing, man. Or something there, but I saw him. I don't think he was big enough to keep. Now, I guess I probably have to say the next good hole I'm coming up to. Put a spell on. The water's just too spinnery looking. The next good hole I'm coming up to right up here is where I usually get out at. We'll see. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do today too, because this just hasn't been a good trip. This ain't been a good trip right here at all. I would have thought I would have caught one. Because like I said, I usually catch one back there. That hole I was just fishing. Another side note besides the dog. First time I fished here this year. And this creek, like I said, is way downstream from here. Got done fishing, got my 7. Had a real day, man. That's when the dog barked at me that day. And I was like, I caught a good one right there at the end, too. And my last fish was 14 inches. And I get back to my car and ungearing and everything. This guy comes up to me. He came out for that. He really on this mouse. He followed that one and he followed through with it. Had so many following. Not actually taking the bite. Yeah, total side note. Back in where these cars are, people talk about it. There's been someone actually on Facebook talking about it recently, and I've always thought, you know, like I used to think, man, that's weird to put those cars in the creek here again. But until I started catching fish around them. But this guy came up to me when I was leaving that day, and he says, hey man, don't fish here. And not in a mean way, he was super nice. I think he was totally trying to help me out, man. He says, fish at the next bridge up there or whatever. He said, there ain't no fishing here. Me sitting there with my 7 in my crib, you know, I just sit down and play. You know. He says, somebody put some cars in the water over there years ago, and he says, you know, it takes the oxygen out of the water. You can't fish nothing here.